Aloha here, everybody. Maria Bernardes. Hope you're well. Um, we are live on YouTube, we are live on Facebook, and we are live on LinkedIn. So thank you for everybody that's been watching the videos, either live on the Facebook channel or on YouTube or Rumble. I do appreciate you. And thank you to everybody that has shared the video to help somebody else that they dearly love with whatever issue they're experiencing. So today we are covering the top holistic hacks for managing blood pressure. So this is very much related, not just to blood pressure, but also heart health. Because if you manage your blood pressure, you're also managing your heart. So they kind of come part and parcel and linked together. So if anybody's watching on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube, please feel free to say hello and let me know where you're from. Just so that we have a very interactive show. So for those that don't know, my name is Maria Bernardes. I am a health and wellness coach. I have been doing this for over 20 years. I was in tax law, believe it or not, and I left that purely because I was very ill for a number of years. I lost all my family to cancer. I myself did not want to end up being a cancer statistic. So I stopped listening essentially to what the doctors were saying to me. I'm not saying you do this, please, but this is my personal experience because I got sick and tired of the drugs, the surgeries, and I thought that I was getting sicker. And I went back to the ancient Greek ways. So I went back and researched all the ancient Greek ways. I applied them and I actually healed myself. So I was not a cancer statistic like the rest of my family. And then God said, Maria, now you know how to heal yourself. Go out there and help other people. And that's exactly what I do. I have helped thousands and thousands and thousands of people actually find their best health. And a lot of them were rejected by the medical system. Nothing more we can do for you. Trust me, what I learned is you can heal anything in your body if you give it the right conditions, the right high vibration food, the high vibration mind, the high vibration spirit. And guess what? You do one thing and one thing only every day that I do, and that is to lift the vibrational frequency of your cells. And if you want to know more, it's in the description of this video, and I will pop a book up later that gives you all the science to what I'm talking about. And this, of course, was used in ancient Greece. So this is ancient Greek therapy that has come to modern times. So that's what I wanted to share, the introduction to welcome everybody. Now, we have an exciting show ahead of us, and I have a giveaway at the end of the show. I'm very excited about that. So for those that watch it to the end, you'll know what that is and how to actually get the giveaway. So today I'm diving into a very central topic, which is basically the top holistic hacks that I have applied to anybody that's had blood pressure, whether it's high or low, and it's gone back to normal and they're healthy. So that's what we're talking about today. Just imagine walking, energized, balanced, in harmony, and not having those highs and lows that people have and dizziness with blood pressure and blood sugar level spikes and what have you. So this is possible, and we're going to delve in to holistic ways or holistic hacks, whatever you want to call them, that are going to help you get there. Just to give you an example, I have been able to manage my blood pressure purely by the adoption of everything that I've just said here. And at one time it was low, and meditation was very key, and putting light infusions in me. Okay, and that has maintained it, those two practices. So they'll come up. Now, before I start talking, I do want to mention a disclaimer, because I've had many of my videos taken down. unfortunately. So now I'm taking every possible precaution so that I don't get all this, wisdom and information taken down, so that it is always there in my library on Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook, so people can access it. So the disclaimer is, I'm not a doctor or medical professional. I am a health and wellness coach. The information discussed is not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. If you're pregnant, nursing, taking medication, or have a medical condition, please consult with your physician first. So now that I've got that out of the way, I've got two important items that have appeared in the media to do with health that are really making waves, so to speak. So I just wanted to cover those two items that are making waves. And it's really interesting because anything that appears in the press just before I'm doing a show is related to the show, which is really quite interesting. So it's almost like divine creator God is saying that I'm on the right track as far as what God is telling me to cover each week. So the first one that appeared, and it was in Mercola.com, it was how aging cells hinder healing. So isn't this really interesting? Because I keep saying to everybody, it's all about the cells. It's all about the cells. And if we have healthy cells, if we're doing something to detox them every day, and it's in the description of this video if you're on Rumble and YouTube as to what that is, and I will hold it up later and show you a book that gives you all the science behind it. So if we look after them, then we cannot have any illness, depression, or anything happening like that in our body. Our mind, body, and spirit are balanced. Okay. And what they said in this article is senescent cells, which have stopped dividing, have a complex role in wound healing. Sometimes some types are beneficial, while others hinder the process. So certain types of these cells, particularly those high in P21, hinder wound healing by promoting inflammation, unlike helpful P16 high cells. So isn't that interesting? So your cells in your body can actually be doing the work to heal you, or they can be doing the work to make you sicker. And one example of that is cancer cells, which are very highly inflamed and need the right conditions, the right food, the right mindset, the right spirit, and the right light frequencies to heal them, to detox the ones that are damaged, and then to replace them with new cells. And they do highlight in the article what I just said as ways to heal those cells so they're not working against the body and causing inflammation, but rather working with the body to heal it. So cells seems to be a very big topic. And the wonderful thing with what I recommend is you don't have to go and get those $15,000 very expensive stem cell injections, which you have to do often. This is less than a cup of coffee a day. Number two, so again, in the same publication, your lifestyle plays a role in your oral microbiome composition. So oral health is featuring a lot nowadays. And don't forget, all your mouth is filled with cells. So if this part is not happy, then it affects the gut, brain, and everything else. So it plays a crucial role, not only in just breaking down food, but also fighting harmful invaders, is what this article says. And it says poor oral health leads to systematic diseases as pathogens enter the bloodstream through inflamed gums, affecting heart health, diabetes, risk, and even brain function. So if your gums are not healthy, if your teeth are not healthy and they're inflamed, it causes inflammation to the rest of the body. So some of the things that we're going to discuss today in great detail about food are the same foods you should be having for good bacteria growth in your teeth, and actually to have a good gut indeed, because the teeth is linked there. Now, if anybody's interested, I have done a video on dental health, and how I and other people have healed all their gums, have healed all their sort of dental issues, and how I needed to get braces because my teeth were not straight and didn't need to do it because what I used and implemented straightened my teeth, and my dentist was just like, couldn't believe it. And I do have a lot of testimonials as well, and you will find all of those in my private Facebook group. How do you get in there? You go onto my Facebook page, which is in the description of this video, or if you're watching it on Facebook, you're already there. DM me, message me, and I will get you in there to have a look at that video and also what I did, what I use. And you'll see so many other testimonials of people healing gum issues and all sorts of other issues. So that's all I wanted to cover. So again, the mouth is made from cells, and you got to keep those cells healthy, and you got to give them the right conditions and the right balance, nutrition, everything else. Now, so if you want to say hello, please go right and say hello if you're watching, because I can see there's some people watching from the various places that it is live at the moment. So let's launch into today's episode. And this is very important for everybody. Even if you're not experiencing blood pressure issues or heart issues, you don't want to go there. So this is also a lot of wisdom that's going to be preventative, so we don't get there and we never ever have the issue. You know, here I am approaching 60 very soon, and I have to tell you, other than at the times in my late sort of 20s, early 30s when I was very sick, and left my hands in the medical system, like I said at the beginning, until God woke me up and said go back to ancient Greek practices. I have to tell you, I have not taken a single big pharma tablet. My blood pressure is perfect. Everything is perfect. Everything internally in my body, the doctors have said, is working like a 27-year-old. So that's like half my age is what my body is essentially working. So it is possible. So everything that I speak to you about, age reversal and all of that, I'm validation. When you look at me, when you get to know me, I'm practicing what I'm preaching. So if I can do it, anybody can do this. Okay. So I'm just giving you the steps and just guiding you into the right direction. Okay, so let's break down the top holistic hacks for managing blood pressure. So let's break it down into very easy, actionable steps. So there's 6 steps of action, which is very easy to do. And the first one, again, I'm going to start with food. This is a big one. Again, I do have a comprehensive video and a blog page that deals with high vibration food, which is also low inflammation food, which is also a balanced diet. They all mean the same thing. So again, that's very, very important. We need to have a balanced diet. We need to be on the alkaline side to reduce inflammation. If we're having too much acidic food, and I'm going to give examples in a minute, well, that's when things go wrong in the body because the body is rejecting it. It's saying you're putting stuff that's garbage, that's too acidic. And then what does it do? It rebels, it tries to detox. And most of the times it turns out into some sort of illness, such as blood pressure out of balance, heart conditions, cancer, every single disease you can think of that you would need to see a doctor starts with these 6 steps. If we're not following these 6 steps, then we're heading down in the wrong direction. So the first type of food that I did want to cover is, it's a myth when they say don't have salt. Not all salts are bad for us. And I just want to be very clear on that. We do need certain type of salts for the makeup of our body to give us all the minerals, nutrients, and electrolytes that we need. But it's what kind of salt are you having? So if you're having, that table salt, as they call it, or a lot of sea salt's really fake. Be very careful where it's coming from, and it has microplastics. So again, not all sea salt is good. So we've got to be very careful. Also, Himalayan salt, very, very toxic, and I'm not going to go into it. I wouldn't touch that at all. So be very, very careful. So what are the type of salts we're talking about? The type of salts we are talking about are like the Hawaiian sea salts, which are pink, orange in color, and which are black, which is the volcanic ash and the seawater that's given it lots and lots of minerals. And it's also recorded that it is high in mineral content that nurtures the minerals that our body needs. Also, very good to actually jump in the ocean because you're absorbing all those good salts into your skin. We're talking about some of the salts that come from Europe, like the Greek one, especially from Cyprus, that's black. Again, it's high in nutrition. We're talking about the very good Celtic salt. Now, be careful because some Celtic salts, do have microplastics. So you got to be careful which brand and look at the source and investigate where did it come from. So we're looking at salts like that. And there are some high-grade sea salts that are very good. You usually find that in a lot of the supermarkets where they have the generic brands of sea salt, you tend to find that some of those are problematic, okay? Some of those have been blended, and all you need to do is a little bit of research to see what I'm talking about. So I'm saying yes to salt, but it's got to be a particular type of salt, okay? So if you choose one of these good salts, yes, you can add salt to all your meals. So you're going to see in the recipes, because that's one of the giveaways today, some amazing recipes for blood pressure. You're going to see that I do say salt, but this is the salt I'm talking about. All right, so the second point I wanted to make under food is we've got to stop eating what I call food that's been processed in a manufacturing plant. All of that food that's packaged in a box, in plastic as well, that leaches into the food, all of that type of food does not do any favors to our blood pressure or blood sugar or our weight or our health in general. So we need to be careful. And also, we're talking about processed meat. So in the processed food, it's not just the package, breakfast cereals and anything else that's packaged. We're also talking about, the salamis and the bacons and the hot dogs and all of that sort of stuff, and the crisps. I make my own potato crisps in the oven, thinly slice them, olive oil, salt, pepper, oregano, and I get nice crispy crisps. So all of that is pretty toxic. And we've got to even be careful with if you eat fish and meat, you got to be careful because most of it has been fed GMO feed, and that wreaks havoc in your body. So if the fish is eating, if the meat is eating all that sort of GMO corn and wheat and whatever, well, guess what? You're eating it too. So if you must eat fish or seafood, make sure that it's wild caught. And if you're going to eat meat, please make sure that it's grass-fed and grass-finished. And in anything I discussed today, it's got to be certified organic wherever possible. Okay? I mean, the way the world's going, nothing's 100% certified organic, but at least with certified organic, they haven't sprayed, pesticides on it and all those other nasties that wreak havoc with your blood pressure and your body. So be very careful with all of that. So we want to eliminate anything that's been made in a manufacturing plant, basically. Very important to stop having processed white sugar and all those other sugar substitutes, which are worse, and soda drinks, because not only do they wreak havoc on your teeth, but they also have high sugar, which does the big up and down spikes in the sugar of your body. And this is when I find people develop some sort of a blood pressure issue or heart issue, weight issue, or has contributed to cancer and other things. So these points on food equally apply to any other illness or condition. I don't care what it is. All of this also is attributing to causing that issue. So most important of all, stop eating processed cheese. Some of the cheese you can hold up and put a flame to it and it just explodes. Cheese is not supposed to do that. Okay, so they're putting all sorts of horrible salt, the worst salt in there, and that's what causes the issue. But they're also putting all sorts of other nasties in there. So opt for something certified organic, and preferably, where the cows or whatever it is have been fed. Grass fed, and always opt. I love the Greek cheeses. The reason being is they're made predominantly from goat and or sheep, and they are the healthiest milks. They haven't contaminated the goat and the goats and the sheep yet as much as they have the cow. And what I find, they're easier to digest by the system. So they're healthier alternatives. So look those up. Very important. If, instead of refined salt, please use the salts that I suggested before. Opt, if you don't have a good salt, use spices and herbs. They're amazing and add so many positive benefits to your body and nutrition. So try using a lot of spices and stuff like that in your cooking. I mean, can I tell you, herbs are so good for your body. They give you, for example, oregano gives you a natural antibiotic when you eat it or when you turn it into a tea. So use herbs. They have a lot of healing benefits and will help your body heal from any blood pressure issues. And, most importantly of all, lots of fruit and vegetables, organic preferably, raw preferably. Why? Because sprouts and fruit have the highest vibrational frequency. And guess what? They are the ones that are the biggest healers to the body. And this is why in ancient Greece, there was a group of people that were fruitarians. And guess what? They lived to 250 years old. And I have put that in my book, Cooking and Eating Wisdom for Better Health. And not only that, fruit and vegetables and whole grains together has actually shown to reduce the risk of hypertension and heart attack. So there you go. You are what you eat. Whereas processed food does the opposite. Meat and chicken and all of that does the opposite. So if you must have it in moderation. As the ancient Greeks said, everything in moderation, nothing in excess. Some other very important things that fall into sort of the food category, but I've also digressed a little bit, is you got to stop drinking alcohol. If you have blood pressure, alcohol wreaks havoc with it. Wreaks havoc. So it's not even reduced. I actually ask my clients to stop all alcohol. It was created to wreak havoc in our body. And this is and we're seeing the consequences of unhealthy people that are having beer, that are having wine, that are having alcohol. And they don't realize that that's one of the contributing factors. And don't forget, most of the alcohol has been made with using GMO corn, GMO barley, GMO wheat. You see, so they're also getting genetically modified, and this is why people are also putting weight. But just as a sideline, because I'm on the alcohol, quit smoking. That's not good at all. And also that vaping falls into that same category. And stop other recreational drugs as well, especially if you have an existing condition. Stay clear. And I also ask my clients to speak to their doctor and remove any unnecessary prescribed drugs, because sometimes it's those other drugs that have side effects for the blood pressure. So they'll say in the long list of side effects, may disturb your blood pressure. So if there's something that you've been prescribed that can be substituted with consultation with your doctor, of course, that can be substituted by something holistic, then I always say to people, do the holistic. You don't want to be taking too many drugs, because too many pharmaceutical drugs interact with each other. And sometimes the new issues that emerge in people is usually the addition of a tablet. So be very, very cautious of that. So just some other very good specific foods and teas for people with blood pressure. Chickpeas, lentils are a good substitute for meat, chicken, and all of that. split peas, beans. Hibiscus tea is very good, as is green tea. And hibiscus tea is very high in vitamin C as well. We drink a lot of that here in Hawaii. Flax seeds are very good and have the good omega oils. Fruits, my favorites are berries and blueberries, is what I suggest for people that have heart conditions. And even if they're not in season, you can pretty much get organic ones that are frozen. So we're also looking to add more nitrate-rich foods. So we're talking about the greens. We're talking like basil, cilantro. We're talking about kale. We're talking about beets. All that sort of food, the top green part, but also the purple part of the beetroot, rhubarb, arugula. So all greens are very, very good. Why? Because greens also detox the body. Okay, they help detox. The other thing I usually also recommend to people with blood pressure issues or just to maintain it, which is also good for the gut, is to include apple cider vinegar before their main meals. So usually lunch and dinner. So it's a great appetite suppressant and it curbs cravings, but it also helps break down the fat in your meal. And it actually reduces blood pressure spikes. And what people don't realize is when they're eating heavy meals, a lot of the blood pressure spikes do happen then. So this is a good way to stabilize that. So all you do is mix 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in 8 ounces of water, stir that, and really drink it all. You may want to drink it with a straw. Some people are a bit sensitive on the lip and on the tongue with the apple cider vinegar, and drink it before you actually have a meal. So have it at least, half an hour before your meal. That's going to help. And link to all of this that I just said, and please have a look at my other comprehensive video on eating high vibration, low inflammation diet, is, you've got to work at reducing body fat. That attributes, if you have excessive, that attributes to blood pressure issues. Okay, so a lot of what I've just shared, including the apple cider vinegar, will help with that. Now, I have done a video on weight loss, so you may want to go and have a look at that as well. So have a look at that video. Now, so if I had to look at all the diets out there on the market and I had to pick one, because my diet of high vibration does really pretty much really limit anything of flesh, then it would have to be the Mediterranean diet. And again, they also limit the consumption of meat, chicken, goat, whatever else. And really follow a lot of the guidelines of a good food eating thing. And not only that, did you know in 2025, it was again voted the best diet. So if you're going to follow one diet and one way of eating and get really good recipes, Mediterranean diet is the way to go. And please pay attention when you're eating food. Pause and see how you're feeling. Do you notice dizziness or a spike in your blood pressure or blood sugar or whatever? Because that's telling you whether that what you're eating is agreeing with you or not, whether it's healthy or not. And don't forget, a lot of the processed food has really bad salts. And this is why I say, please limit it or get rid of it, because that is spiking your blood sugar, spiking your blood pressure. Okay, so just bear that in mind. So if you sit and if you feel that something's not feeling right, or something is, I'm feeling a bit of a dizzy, or something going up and down, well, that's telling you don't eat that food. So we need to become a little bit more consciously aware about what we eat, and if something is not agreeing with our body, then we need to make that decision and just not have it again. So for anybody that loves recipes, I've put together some amazing 20 recipes that are based on Mediterranean and all the sort of principles that I've discussed. And I will tell you at the end of the show how you can actually get a copy of that. Okay, so there's some of, my favorite recipes that I do. So that was number one, the food. So what's the second hack that's really, really important to reduce blood pressure? exercise, and it's got to be consistent. It's got to be consistent. So book a time in your diary and do a 30-minute walk. Yoga, whatever it is, the gym, whatever makes you happy, as long as you're moving. It could even be dancing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be strenuous. You just need to be moving. That helps stabilize blood pressure. Now, as Hippocrates said, if we could give every individual the right amount of nourishment and exercise, not too little and not too much, we would have found the safest way to health. So, why do you think the ancient Greeks were so healthy? Because they practiced everything I'm discussing here, and they practiced point number 6 every day when we get to it at number 6. So that's very important. Keep moving, especially if you're sitting in a chair all day long working. That is not good for the blood pressure. Okay. So number 3 is stress management, and I have to tell you, who does not, who does not have stress? We all have stress in our lives. So it's very important that we incorporate some sort of mindfulness, whether that be prayer, meditation, breathing. I did a very good video that I post on my Facebook page and YouTube as a short on how to breathe to reduce and eliminate anxiety, and it works. So have a look at that video, implement that to help you manage, uh, your stress, because if there's stressful situations around you or people, you need to manage them, or you need to get rid of these people. It's just not worth it. Our health is so important that we cannot let anybody really mess with that. Okay, so incorporate things that are going to make you happy. Usually that reduces your stress. So laugh, watch a comedy. Be careful what you watch. Please don't watch all this news and intel. That lowers your vibrational frequency and actually does harm to your health and your cells. Because remember, what comes out of our mouth affects what's happening in our body. So avoid toxic people, do artistic things, whatever makes you happy. Incorporate aromatherapy. That's a wonderful, it's an ancient Greek practice. Aromatherapy is an ancient Greek word that the ancient therapists penned. So burn some beautiful oils, get one of those little humidifiers. So again, do something to reduce the stress, whatever that is for you. It could be taking a walk in nature, a grounding, whatever it is. Please, please, please do it, because that's how you're going to manage the blood pressure. There's no point in getting all the food right, but then having all this high stress, because it will negate all the hard work that you've done with your diet and your food. Number 4, hydration. Very important that we're drinking lots of purified water. So filtered and purified, so it doesn't have all those toxins, all those chemicals, and of course, fluoride. So staying hydrated is very, very important. Why? Because we're made of over 70% water. So if we're not drinking water to hydrate the cells and hydrate our body, then that's when issues such as blood pressure and whatever also emerge. And a lot of people underestimate how important water is. Number 5, practice affirmations as the ancient Greeks did. So I am healed. My blood pressure is perfect. And guess what? The power of the word and the vibration, because we are over 70% water, our cells are made of water. Guess what? They're listening. They're listening and they're obeying. So if you're saying, oh my God, my blood pressure is high. Oh my God, my blood pressure is low. Well, guess what? Your blood pressure is going to be high and your blood pressure is going to be low. Okay. So, be careful what you say. Be careful what comes out of your mouth. Okay. So positive things all the time. And remember that Dr. Emoto experiment. If you don't know what it is, please look up Dr. Emoto. He proved everything that the ancient Greeks were always saying, that our cells are made of water. What we speak and what we think reflects in the cells and then reflects in our outer reality. So we have to be very careful. Again, preferably using the word I am, because in the Bible it says, be still and know that I am God. Okay, so they're telling us in the Bible, God's telling us to use the word I am wherever possible. Now, number 6, and this is what the ancient Greeks did, and this is what I do as a holistic practitioner. After all, I am an ancient Greek holistic practitioner. They're the ways that I help people heal, and everything I discuss and recommend is ancient Greek. They used light tech. So Pythagoras, Hippocrates, they use vibration, healing, light to bring harmony to the body, to light up the cells, to increase the vibrational frequency of the cells. And guess what? If the cells are vibrating high, illness cannot stay in your body. It has to vibrate out. So you got to vibrate it out. And I have this amazing vibrational frequency light tech that I use. Again, description in the video. And if you want to see testimonials, as I said, private message me and I'll put you in my private Facebook group so you can have a look and see a lot of other videos that I have in there. And yeah, so you'll see that. And again, there is a whole book written about what I use and everything, including studies, that it heals. There's nothing that it does not do. And Dr. Harmon is a friend of mine that wrote this book and recommends, that was the end conclusion, and also makes you look and feel young. So, guys, the evidence is out there. And I've done a full interview with Dr. Harmon. Again, you will find it on my YouTube channel. You will find it on my Rumble channel. And for anybody on Facebook that wants to have a look at it, I can send you the link to watch it or put you in my private Facebook group to watch it. Okay, so they are the 6 ways that I wanted to discuss. Now it's your turn. So it's your turn now. By choosing these right strategies and using them all together in unity, and making small shifts in your routine. I'm not saying eliminate every processed food. My God, that would be a shock to the system, but we take small steps in everything. And, we make big changes to our body. And like Maria, you will be ill-free for years and years and years, not need to see a doctor. You're going to look young and not look like I look at everybody else that's my age and they're all wrinkly and tablets and this and that. There's no need for that, everybody. There's just no need. That's a choice. If people watch my videos and follow the steps and incorporate just that one product, it's the only product that I now recommend because I just have helped thousands with it. That's why I recommend it. Then you know what? You're going to be fine. So which one are you going to try? Some people are going to be watching this video after the live. Put it in the comments and I'll answer you. Which ones are you already doing? Maybe there's something else you're doing. Please feel free to put it in the comments. We love to share these things with other people. So which one are you going to try? What are you going to do differently if you have blood pressure to help manage it? So again, I'm just going to conclude by saying, achieving blood pressure and blood sugar levels is not just about avoiding health issues. It affects, other things. And it's really about embracing your health and putting strategies in place like I have outlined today, or lifestyle changes to make sure that it just never knocks on your door. So we need to create a foundation for holistic health and for wellness. And again, share in the comments, which one resonated with you, which one you're going to adopt. And if you found this video useful, please share, subscribe, share. We're here to help one another. And when people are not sharing, it's like, do you really care about anybody else but yourself? Because when people are not sharing, that's what they're saying. It's all about me. So we are entering the golden age of agape. And agape is about helping anybody and everybody that's in our way with whatever issue they have, whether it's financial, whether it's to do with an illness, whatever it is. We're here. We need to be the example of going out there and helping people. And so I have a giveaway, and there's no limit to this, by the way. I have a giveaway. I've put together an ebook of 20 amazing recipes, and it covers breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, of very simple, healthy recipes that are good for managing blood pressure and will help reduce blood pressure, or I should say, stabilize blood pressure, because some people have low blood pressure. So, if you would like these delicious recipes and for me to email them to you, all you need to do is, if you're on Facebook watching this, you can just put a comment, yes, please send them to me. Um, and I will also then put you into, for 3 days to have a look. I will then put you in my private Facebook group for 3 days to see the amazing things that I've achieved with reducing people's blood pressure, because you need to see that as well, and what they did. Because when you see other people speaking about their problem and how they healed it, then it kind of hits home. So you are going to put in the comments of the Facebook. So this is Facebook people. Yes, I'm interested. I am then going to send you a link to go to my private group, as I said. And then that requires an email address. Then I'll email it to you. For anybody that's watching on Rumble and YouTube, you are simply going to go into the description of the video and you are going to send me an email, and I likewise with you. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. Not quite sure if anybody has any questions. I can't see any on the screen this week. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching. God bless you. I wish you all amazing health and abundance in all things, finances and beyond. And I just want to let you know that next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are covering how the top things to detox your home. Okay, because we have a lot of environmental hazards and toxins in our home that also affect our blood pressure. So I will be covering that next week. Top hacks to detox your home. And remember, as I always say, self-care is healthcare. You deserve the best in health and life. Thank you for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you next week.